Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to busy, beautiful Surfside, California, here in the good old USA, sandwiched between Seal Beach and Huntington Beach. It's a glorious Thursday morning. I can't believe it's December here in SoCal, man. It's really lovely weather this beautiful morning, and I want to welcome you to the Friedman Adventures channel. On the Friedman Adventures channel, we focus a lot on fishing, but we also do some travel stuff to Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, China, the Philippines, Taiwan. We're all over the place, and we're going to have more of that kind of programming for you in 24. But right now, we're going to share with you what is going on in northern Baja. Actually, we'll take it into Cabo San Lucas, briefly mention what's going on there, and then bring you up into SoCal, where we still have bluefin tuna, and it's almost Christmas time. Something that we thought would be a reality that Danny Cadota, Captain Danny Cadota, who has a show here on the Friedman Adventures Network, Danny's been saying all year long, those fish aren't going anywhere. There's too much squid in our local environment, market squid, to hold them here. And Danny is absolutely right. By the way, you'll be able to catch Danny just a little bit later today on a special early live show. I'm not exactly sure what time because my schedule is all screwed up. I think somewhere between 2 and 4 o'clock. And then that show will be immediately archived and you'll be able to watch it at your leisure any time you like. So, without further ado, you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh my God, before we get going, hit that like button, share this video with a friend. If you don't mind, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures channel right here and tick that little bell and you'll be notified anytime there is new content. You can also follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. So make sure you check us out on all those venues. Let's go down there to Cabo San Lucas and tell you the marlin bite remains really excellent. And talk about glorious weather. I don't know how I can get much nicer than this, but Cabo's beautiful this time of the year. Temperature is normally in the high 70s, low 80s, like that. Sometimes it'll get down in the 60s at night. It's a beautiful time of the year to hang out in Cabo San Lucas. And when you add to it this striped marlin bite, and then you got a few blue marlin around, some bigger dorado hanging out, some good yellowfin tuna fishing. It has been spectacular, no question about it. So really great fishing there. 70 miles south of the border is the beautiful port town of Ensenada, Baja California Norte. And that's such a great place to drive to. I love the drive down the Baja Peninsula in the northern zone. You see spectacular views of the Coronado Islands. The Baja wine country is a stone's throw away from Ensenada of Rosarito. You have some great culinary adventures awaiting you in Tijuana. And I love the little town of Tecate, especially all my buddies down there at Los Amigos, where they provide you with some of the best carne asada you could ever imagine. Anyway, I digress. Back to the fishing in Ensenada. It's for real sport fishing. Louis Prieto's been out there on a regular basis, and he says, man, big bonita are biting down here. Great sashimi. Also catching copious amounts of colorful and delicious rockfish. So that's going really, really well. Excellent fishing down there in Ensenada. And if you focus on calico bass, you can catch some wintertime calicos and occasional halibut as we're in our kind of our second spawn in the late fall here in SoCal and northern Baja. So some really good fishing going on in that neck of the woods. All right, San Diego, got to talk about the Polaris Supreme. And by the way, the other day, the uploads, and we'll see how this goes today, the uploads to YouTube, it took a day, 24 hours for me to upload the video. So by the time you saw it, that news was 24 hours old, and I was aware of what the Polaris Supreme had done, but I couldn't upload it. It's driving me nuts. You know, I'm going to lose my hair if this keeps up. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. Anyway, back to the Polaris Supreme. Some really great fishing on the Supreme. 22 guys, 60 bluefin, 7 yellowfin, and Danny Cadota was absolutely right. Those bluefin are not going anywhere, man. They got plenty of fish to feed on, or I should say mollusks. Those squid, market squid, are everywhere this year, and they are providing a food source that holds fish in place, and the bluefin seem like they are going to hang out for a while. A lot of 10 to 30 pound fish. Sometimes you get into the 30 to 50 pound stuff, and at night sometimes you'll get into that 100+ pound category bluefin tuna. Good to see the yellowfin around also. Kind of crazy, right? In December in Southern California, and we're catching yellowfin tuna. That is wild, if you ask me. So really excellent fishing for the Supreme. Doesn't surprise me one bit. The Supreme, those guys, I mean, they fish hard, they work hard out of C4 Sport Fishing in San Diego. And more times than not, they crank some excellent numbers on the fishes they did again here too. And I believe they have some 2-day trips here before Christmas. You can check that out at C4 Sport Fishing and find out more. You need that variety of tackle. Sometimes those little devils are finicky, so you're going to want to drop down to like 20 to 25 pound fluorocarbon. Other times they'll chew the paint off the boat, and then you're going to bump up to 60 at night. You're fishing 100 to 130 pound spectra, 200 pound leader material, and lures that are like 300 to 500 grams. And it's essential that when the captain tells you to drop, you do it immediately and you go to the depth that he tells you. If you do those two things correct, I get the feeling you could drop your shoe down there with a big treble hook in it and get a bite. So really essential. The depth is super important, number one, and dropping immediately when the captain tells you to drop, right on the head of those little bluefin tuna, sometimes bigger bluefin tuna. So keep that in mind, and you should do really, really well. By the way, if you need help with your air conditioning and or heating, John Lopez is a great sponsor of ours. Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. Give John a call, 626-901-4822. Give John a call. He's a great guy, and he can help you along with that. All right, as we take a look locally, the Pride with another big halibut catch, 34 on the flatfish. They also had quite a few short white sea bass, but it's nice to see that they're still around, and hopefully that bodes well for the springtime bite that awaits us in, March, April, like that with all this squid. That's a magnet that sucks those sea bass in here. But another good halibut day. Most of the halibut are not giant, but they're legal fish, and I'm not going to get used to the fact that we're catching double digits on the halibut again here so far again this year. I mean, earlier in the year, we saw some of the best halibut fishing that I think I've ever seen in Southern California, and I'm not exaggerating. It was a spectacular year up in the Channel Islands and for boats here out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. Really spectacular fishing in the Pride with another big day. Nice going for those boys. Up and down the coast, we're continuing to catch mostly rockfish, sheepshead, whitefish, that kind of thing. The Victory had limits of sheepshead the other day. Up in the Channel Islands, we continue to hammer on the fish. The Mirage has been doing great. The Endeavor out of Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing, along with California, the half-day boat, and the Island Spirit, the 3/4-day boat. They've been doing great up there in that neck of the woods. 805-676-3474. You can really have your way up there with the rockfish. It has been absolutely fantastic fishing. So from Seaforth down there all the way up, we continue to catch rockfish. And when I say all the way up, you can go to Monterey, California. All further than that, rock fishing is excellent during this time of the year. And rockfish in Southern California will close on January 1st. So you better get your licks in. And the Endeavor has some great trips up there out of Ventura. You'll get the best customer service you could ever imagine, as well as you will catch lots of fish. The only thing that holds you back up there in that neck of the woods would be weather. And we've got a nice weather forecast for the time being. Things are looking pretty darn good. Also, we continue to pick at some bass. There's sand and calico bass in several areas, like down there around Dana Wharf. They release a ton of shorts, keep some legals just about every single day. They're very conservation minded down in that neck of the woods. They're releasing a lot of bass. My hat's off to them. We see a lot of good bass fishing also up there in Redondo and Marina del Rey. They've been doing pretty darn well also. If you want to focus on that kind of a bite, you can certainly find it here in the wintertime. A lot of that is going to be fishing with live squid. Hey, good morning. Fishing live squid or dead squid with a lead head, and that has been a fabulous way to catch some really nice bass, especially twilight fishing. Nighttime bites have been pretty darn good, and it always is in the wintertime. It's a lot of fun. Fish some heavier line because there's some nasty structure around. like 40-pound if you can get away with it, a lead head and a fresh dead squid, and you are rocking and rolling. I'll tell you that right now. There's also guys that fish the bays during this time of the year and do pretty good. Spotted bay bass fishing for Gil Perez in the San Diego Bay Area was pretty darn good. Can't beat that. And Tino Valentine and Steve Welsh from the Freedom, they were fishing Lake Havasu with Donnie Brockman. Donnie, good morning to you. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Tino. They had a lot of fun catching smallmouth bass and stripers and catfish. They've been up there with Donnie just having the time of their lives. Carlos Gonzalez was fishing the surf and doing well up in the Santa Monica Bay area. He said really light line was the key, whether you were throwing a Lucky Craft or fishing bait. Now, he was drop shotting with 4-pound tests, and he also was throwing a Lucky Craft and using 6-pound. That is very dangerous, Carlos, on those $20 lures. But he said it made all the difference in the world. The lighter line and using that, his biggest halibut, 21 and a half, just missed a bunch of really good fish tacos, because halibut in California have to be 22 inches in order for you to throw them in the hot boiling, or not boiling, the hot grease, let's put it that way, and fry up some great fish tacos. So he just missed, but nice going, Carlos. Good to see that, no question about it. All right, in the surf, we continue to see some guys doing pretty good, like our buddy Richard Cayo. Richard, again, with some good bar perch fishing. He just keeps hammering out nice catches. Now, there's some Corvina here. You know, you saw all the activity, or you're seeing the activity here in Surfside, as erosion has taken much of the sand away from the beach, so they are putting more sand in here. It's unbelievable how much progress they've made already. But I see a ton of birds here, and guys that have fished this the last time they did this replenishment said that the surf fishing was off the hook, wide open. So I'm going to have to give it a try here in the next few days and see if that is indeed the case. They say that dredging up all of this sand in here and all of this movement gets all the clams and the mussels and the sand crabs and everything up, and the surffish come in to feed on it. Somebody's got to give this a try, and it should be me. I'm going to try to do that for you in the next couple of days, let you know how that goes. But there's been some pretty good bar perch fishing, and also we continue to see some pretty good fishing on halibut. There's some halibut in the surf that continue to bite. Again, Lucky Crab lures are a good way. I like that chrome crocodile. That also works really well when you're fishing halibut in the surf. All right, I don't know what to tell you. It's a beautiful day here in SoCal. It can't get any nicer, and it's almost Christmas. Unbelievable. Hit that like button, share these videos, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures channel. Don't miss Danny Cadota tonight. Tick that bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're there for you 24/7. Have a great day, my friends, and I hope to see you really, really soon.